This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. David, welcome to Tag Radio.
Hi, Frank. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
A lot of energy, a lot of buzz. I know the dates are coming down to the 11th hour almost, coming up this Wednesday. The next great summit. It's been one home run after the other. Let's start out by a little bit of, for those that may not be fully aware of the society, but equally as important about your technical background and some of the things that you're using to influence your position as the chair of the TAG Digital Media and Entertainment Society. Give us a little bit about your background.
Great, yeah. Listen, it's been a tremendous honor being able to work with TAG and the Digital Media and Entertainment Society. My background is in classical music composition. However, as a kid, I grew up in San Francisco playing in rock bands in the 60s and right outside of Silicon Valley, programming early Apple IIe and Altair-type computers with a friend. So I, over the years, transitioned and ended up as a C Unix programmer teaching at a university, and subsequently became an Intel software partner and beta tester, publishing music video games for live concert performance.
Well, certainly over the last several years, certainly the last 3 or 4 for sure, this term digitainment, or the convergence of all of the various aspects, the verticals of the entertainment industry, music and film and gaming and broadcast, and now obviously even with artificial intelligence and some of the augmented reality things that they're playing around with, entertainment is just going into places that no one ever really imagined ever before. Let's talk a little bit about what in the world happened over the last several months. I mean, what's going on that in this last 6 months, the last year or two, that seems to have the whole industry just exploding?
Well, I mean, Atlanta and Georgia, as you know, is a tremendous place to be. I mean, we've had the tax incentives in place in the film industry, and recently those have been expanded to music and digital media and entertainment. I believe everyone realizes that this whole social media, multimedia phenomena is taking over, and that the digital media is going to be where things go. Back in the day, you would go into a computer store, and multimedia would be the moniker, with computers being sold with CD drives and DVD-ROM drives. Now, if you go into Best Buy, the new thing that they're marketing is mixed reality and the incorporation of 3D elements within your media space on your computer or your laptop.
Now, this, if I'm recalling correctly, this is the 5th year or 6th year of the summit?
I think, actually, I was on Dana Barrett.
I know you've been
recently.
You've read them, created them all. If we're crying out loud, you can remember them, David. No, I think I've been there too. But that said, the reason I bring it up is that when it started, it was such a pioneering kind of in the distance idea. A lot of the individual verticals that we talked about before really kind of didn't get the connection with the computers and technology. Now, of course, the convergence is really spot on. And I think it's reflective in terms of what you guys are doing this year, because I think at the summit, your plan is to extend and address some of those issues. Maybe go into a little bit about that, and maybe cover real quickly, if you can, some of the people that will be speaking or on the panels.
Absolutely. You know, and giving credit where credit's due, I think you were part of the original Digitainment group, and Audra Browning, who is the co-chair for the society as well, we're both visionaries within this. And I don't think that anyone, for instance, foresaw the rise of esports taking off in popularity the way that it has, and that's become something that's extremely important and driving the market. Turner recently started their E-League studios. So what's exciting with the society is that we get people from the different verticals of the entertainment industry into one room, from music, film, broadcast, and video games, and everyone discusses some of the current issues. We've got Lee Thomas is our keynote speaker this year, is going to talk about Georgia's meteoric rise. But then on the panel discussion, we've got heads from the Video Game Developers Group, Andrew Greenberg. Cara Kinnear is going to be the host from Atlanta Tech Edge. We've got Jeff Stepikoff from the Georgia Film Academy. Curtis Daniel from Patchwork Recording Studio, all discussing a rising tide lifts all boats, strategic planning for interdependent growth among the industry segments, which I think is where Georgia is taking the lead. As you know, Georgia this year got listed as the #1 production center in the world. That means it exceeds Los Angeles and New York and London for film production.
Absolutely amazing. And the bottom line of it, that's not hyperbole. That's the reality. Because I think that, unfortunately, a lot of times we live in this hyperbolistic description of things that we can't describe. And when something happens as quickly and as dynamically as this whole film and production industry, I mean, there was a lot of time and energy, decades put into the infrastructure, if you will, with the kind of people that were, quote unquote, the pioneers. And I know you guys are going to recognize some of those people at your event. But the bottom line of it is that almost within an instant, and that's how quickly, you talk about disruption. In this case, we didn't just disrupt the film industry. We kind of disrupted California. And I think that was kind of, from an ego standpoint, there was a lot of high-fiving, if you will. Nothing cruel, just good old wholesome competitiveness. Okay, so that said, though, now we're talking about the issues that, are these ethereal? Are they, things about future vision? Or are they about work and getting a job? Or a little bit of both? I guess I'm talking about why would I want to go to this? Because if I haven't already planned, you better change your plan, Mr. Listener, because it's tomorrow. David, why should they come?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, #1, come because some of the visionaries and people on the panels and in the discussions and presenting are leaders in the industry and have vision toward where things are going. Other reasons is, yes, we do have cutting-edge technology here in Georgia, and part of the show is we've nominated and will be recognizing local digital media and media mover companies that have boots on the ground and doing some very cool stuff. We've got a vendor fair this year, which will be featuring a fair amount of local virtual reality companies that will have setups so that you can actually climb into the virtual reality booth.
Wow.
And get hooked up and experience this stuff. And then furthermore, it's just going to be fun because we're honoring this year the Olamamis of Hosea Feed the Hungry, who also are actors in their own right as well as activists and appeared in movies such as Forrest Gump and Tyler Perry movies. And we've got Louvain Demps we're very excited to have from the Andantes, who you would have known her voice from Baby I Need Your Loving, I Can't Help Myself, My Guy, Reach Out, I'll Be There, you name it, she's been in it.
Well, I can tell you that's there's so many heroes, so many people that built what we are standing on today that I think a lot of us now, that because of the quickness, the rapidity of how fast the tax incentive worked and how dynamic it's worked, I think we got the context and a sense of identity, I wouldn't say lost, but we really never established it enough to kind of use it as a platform to grow from. Next question, probably the toughest, because anytime we talk on Tech Talk, we're always talking about everything was so 20 minutes ago. Things are changing. They're changing in every single vertical that exists, including what you are involved in. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. Georgia's position nationally. Are we in a position? What's next? And then finally, globally, what are we looking at going forward with, say, digital media and the entertainment industry as it relates to tech?
Well, I think that's where it's most exciting is with these new tax incentives to film, music, and digital entertainment, which the Atlanta office has had, there are not many or any municipalities that have determined that they're going to elevate all of these verticals at the same time. You've got cities and states that are giving incentives within the film industry, but not all three. And we've got to note also that DeKalb County recently instituted the Film, Music, and Digital Entertainment Office. So these tax incentives across the board make Georgia and Atlanta extremely on the radar toward future growth. And if we've assumed and taken the lead within film, I don't think that there's any reason to assume that it won't follow with digital media and entertainment as well.
Well, and I think the greater audience understands the leapfrog. When we talk about a digitainment convergence, it doesn't matter. The markets, even if it's an entertainment industry, have to develop and evolve their own technologies and embracing those technologies, all of the process that has to go through. But if you're thinking about 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead, then you really need to think about talent and capability and infrastructure and all the kind of heavy lifting that somebody's got to be doing, because that's the way ultimately success happens. You know, you hear about it on the surface, but you don't realize the worker bees that are underneath there making it happen. And for one person, I can tell you, because I appreciate your compliment, David, but I can tell you that I've dealt with TAG for almost 20 years, 15 years or more. And I think that you are or have become and grown in that position to fit the shoes of what needed to be done at the time it needed to be done. You've done a monstrously successful job in leadership, and I think most of the players and the people that are involved in the society that know of what you've been doing all say the same thing. Hats off, great job. Got to wrap it up. Let's talk a little bit as we close. What are some of the ways that people can get involved? And clearly, one way they can get involved is get in touch with TAG right now and reserve a seat. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, and maybe close with the particulars of the event. Where's it at, and what's the time?
Absolutely. So the TAG Digital Media and Entertainment Society, at any point, go on to tagonline.org. I believe that's it, tagonline.org, isn't it, Frank?
Yep.
And go to Digital Media and Entertainment to follow up and see what our events are. Absolutely become a TAG member. It's a fantastic organization to become involved with. To follow the Entertainment Society, it's at TAG ENTMT. With regards to the event, come tomorrow. I believe we're broadcasting this radio interview Tuesday, so the TAG Digital Media and Entertainment Summit is going to be at the beautiful new SunTrust Ballpark in the Hank Aaron Terrace overlooking the ballpark on Wednesday, November 15th. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be a beautiful sit-down lunch. And, gosh, we hope to see you on Wednesday.
Everybody talks about, you know, how do I get traction into the movie business? How do I get traction into the production business? Well, guys, girls, the way to do it is to be there tomorrow. We're all going to see you. David, I know you're going to be there. I look forward to seeing you there as well. Thank you so much for taking time out of what I know is even a more aggressive and more busy schedule heading up to the event and joining us for a few minutes today on Tech Talk.
Thank you, Frank. It's been an honor to talk.